And new at noon, Malia Davis's mother, Brittany Bowens, showed up at the courthouse today with a full security detail. Her former fiance, Derion Vence, was set to make his initial appearance on tampering with a human corpse charges. That's in connection with Malia's death. Well, that appearance was reset, but before that announcement came down, a crowd of people filled the hallway outside of the courtroom, chastising Bowens. She didn't respond to the crowd or to reporters as she left the courtroom. Bowens hasn't been charged in connection with her daughter's death. Vence's new court date is September 16th.